Some of Ashley's stuff is going to be explicit, so sexually explicit. I hope that's okay. If not, feel free, whatever you need to do during her performance. So Ashley Adamson is an entrepreneur and active supporter of the transgender community. She is founder of the Trans Resilience Project and active YouTube and Instagram figure for trans topics. Her story is one of personal transformation, growth, and empowerment. Anybody can be who they want to. So please follow her on Instagram and on YouTube. It's com/AshleyXAdamson. And now Adamson. Right? Yeah, okay. No, it's not on now. But, right. So, please give a very warm welcome applause. Oh my God.
We can set it up right here.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then, can I turn the projector off?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm tall, sorry.
Do you want this? Do you want this off?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay. Oh, okay, got it. It just wants to go there. Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you? The first half of this is just going to be some poetry about being trans, and then the second half is going to be my stand-up routine where we met each other, and I never actually performed it. I've never done stand-up in front of an audience like this before, so it could be like totally just scraping on the concrete, or it could be funny, we'll see. I practice it in front of a camera a couple times, and hopefully that'll work. Okay, so first the poetry, which doesn't have any of that explicit stuff in it. It's the comedy portion that gets a bit explicit. Poetry. I see him. He is still there. He looks at me in the mirror. I cannot get rid of him. He is still there. After all I've done and the change I've seen, he is still there. I want to scream out and shout, "Go away." Yet he is still there, holding me back at the gate, telling me what is not true. Is this my fate, to be trapped in the ghost that I once knew? He was I and I was he, and then we came us, and then us became she. And I thought we'd been through this already, yet he is still there. No matter the journey, no matter the change, you still manage to reappear. So I have something to say to you, and I know you can still hear. Why? Why did you burn it all down? Was it for me? Was it for everything? Or was it for nothing? What is the price that you pay to be something? Ashley, thank you for making the greatest sacrifice of your life. Thank you for giving me your flame, and thank you for giving me a voice. And thank you for giving me your name. It's been 2 years now, and we're going strong. I stand here a woman now, and I wonder why you waited so long. But that is the mystery of the Tao, so I reaffirm what you already know, but cannot see. I am Ashley. Thank you. Thank you.
No, but thank everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone for supporting this, and thank you for putting it together. It's a beautiful, wonderful event that's kind of special, so thank you. And you look so great in your dress, by the way. Just, so beautiful.
We'll exchange numbers later.
Yes, well, we already have numbers, right? Okay, so this one was when I was in Tokyo, and I was at this like live experience, and it's this whole like immersive thing where you go from one room to the next, and it's a whole new thing. And I was like on acid, staring on the floor, staring at the ceiling, and there was like a seed that passed over, and it blossomed into a rose. And in that moment, I saw my entire life and wrote this poem. Yeah. I wrote this poem while I was on acid too. All right. The giving of life and absence of it. I am a rose blooming in my youth, yet my beauty coming of fruition, only to be yet realized as truth. The truth there latent in my own being, yet refused by my protector in my soul. What was I hiding from? Why am I scared to see my truth? The inherent beauty that is within me, I am wasting life not seeing what is right. And instead of appreciating and soaking it up, I'm hiding from what lies before my eyes. I am her, and she is beautiful, and we are in this life together. This is beautiful. Life is beautiful. You will grow old. You will die. Everything has a beginning and an end. The question is, do you realize that you've already started? That you're approaching halfway through your cycle, yet you have not realized? How much longer do you want to deny it? Time blooms with beauty emerged from the void and the creation of something darling. We want to hold on, slow time down, savor every last drop. The celebration of birth only to realize the beginning of its death, the death unraveling infinitely through the hallways of time. Giving rise to the fear of the inevitable end, yet nothing is so finite as the loss of an end because every moment holds another rose to bloom. The rose cannot be last, but every moment can. And so we have this moment to live, each moment like a rose, blooming and eventually dying. All right, this one's called Emotions, and then we'll get into the stand-up. Emotions are feelings, just feelings. And your feelings are valid, of course, until they're not. My name is Ashley, and my feelings have led me here. I know what I am and what I must do. I'm a woman, but I'm also trans, and while my feelings are valid, sometimes they're not. If I do not obey beauty standards, if I haven't shaved, if I speak in a lower voice, I may no longer be valid. And so I wake up and get ready for the day to pretend to be a woman, and for this is what womanhood is, right? Your feelings are valid until they're not. And so if my feelings are real, then how am I not? How am I not the woman that I see in the mirror? Or do I not see her anymore? Do I become liquid? Am I up for your debate? Who owns me? Is it you? Or you don't look trans, you're so pretty for a trans person. My feelings are valid until they're not. The greatest corruption of feminism is the incision of inclusion. Trans exclusionary radical feminists. All women are equal until they're not. I do not bleed, but I do. It doesn't come from between my legs, but it's through my eyes. I shed tears every night because I am afraid. I am afraid I'll never find love. I'm afraid I'll never be safe. I am afraid the wrong person will find out, and I'm afraid I will be killed. Who will come to my rescue? I'm just a tranny. I'm a man in a dress, the butt of your favorite joke. All feelings are valid until they're not. Who am I to say what I am? They say I shouldn't exist, and so I won't, because they will erase me. There's no history of trans people, but this is not new. We were meant to be forgotten.
smudged out and lost. My people lose legal protections every day. We have become the scapegoat for a political act. Politicians can win the vote by removing our rights, and who cares? They are less than 1%. We have no voice. I have no voice. I used to think I had no voice, that my words were not real. But all feelings are valid, and perhaps theirs are not. Thank you. Okay, y'all ready to get real serious now? We're doing the stand-up part. You look so beautiful over there. All right, so I'm a trans woman and I've been on hormones for 2 years. It's been the best experience of my life, and there's so much to learn. You really learn about yourself and who you are. So transitioning is an incredibly personal process, and so you think every trans person is pretty unique, but I've also noticed it's kind of become a meme of itself. Like, since when did every trans girl have an OnlyFans? Is this a new lifestyle? Do I need an OnlyFans? Because honestly, I've been thinking about an OnlyFans too. Honestly though, the world's pretty hard for trans people finding work. Cis people want to hire cis people. Trans folks even get fired for being trans. Which is kind of dumb, because trans people are usually smarter than your run-of-the-mill cis dude. But that's okay, I guess. Don't be innovative is a thing. But it has me thinking. I think trans people could really fuck up the business game, like having a different perspective that 99% of the world doesn't have. It can give you kind of an edge sometimes. So yeah, trans businesses. Let's flip the script and make being cis a disadvantage. Just imagine a trans-run business. What would that look like? Everyone drugged up on hormones? All the trans girls crying because they have crazy high estrogen levels? All the trans men aggressive and bothered because they're jacked up on testosterone? What would that business look like? Wait a minute. If it's run by trans men and trans women, then isn't that just a regular business run by men and women? So let's talk about my genitals. Yeah. Probably the weirdest thing transitioning from male to female is I talk to everyone about my genitals, and somehow that's okay. If I was cis and just walked around talking about my dick or vagina, would the world be okay with that? I don't think so. So one of the most annoying things, sorry, my pacing is a little off here, but one of the most annoying things about being a trans woman at work is you gotta hide your dick. Of course, I don't talk about that at work, and that's still not appropriate, but I bet people are thinking about it. I feel like a walking HR risk. My dick on your mind, bitch. Yeah, my dick on your mind. Yeah, testosterone is a hell of a drug. You're not thinking about sex, and then bam, you're thinking about sex. You want to rub your cock on everything that looks warm, soft, and slippery. Or even better, all of the above. Once estrogen killed my testosterone, though, I was relieved. I could think clearly. But I'm also horny all the time. I'm just like, not down here though, it's like all up here. This is where all the sex happens now. Am I right, ladies? Like, I'm very slutty in my head. But I was brought up on testosterone and porn, so let me just talk about that for a second. Because when you combine the two, it gets pretty sexually explosive. And when I transitioned, all I want to do now is live out my sick, cis-het pornography dreams as a slutty female, which is what I think men kind of want, actually. So I feel like replacing one of the competing men with a hot, slutty female is a net win for everyone. Dating. I like to date. I really do. Men and women, but mostly men. And I date men because it's validating. You know that whole thing about like breaking gender roles? Well, fuck that. I want it. Give it to me. Tell me I'm a woman. Tell me it in all the ways. Like buy me dinner, hold the door open for me, take off my jacket, ask me to make you a sandwich. Well, God damn it. You want a housewife? Sign me up. Yeah, dating straight men is fun. Once you get over their objections of, I'm not gay, but what? You're straight. Great, I'm a woman, I'm straight too. Can we get past that? It's definitely odd thinking you're a straight guy and then transitioning and realizing you're a straight girl. I'm kind of straight. So dating men. My first problem is I've been a man. Like most of my life, actually. So I know what they're thinking, which is fine. But it's also not fine, because I know too much. It'd be nice to think he's doing something to be sweet, you know? But I know he's actually thinking about getting his dick wet. Yeah, he wants to get his dick wet. And I don't have a problem with that, it's just like how he does it, right? Like, does he do it with confidence? And sadly, most men don't tell you they want their dick wet with confidence. Like instead of, why don't you try sucking my dick, they just say it's something stupid like, how was your day? So let's talk about the trans agenda, because this is serious business. So probably the most annoying thing at being trans is how much we're blamed for stuff. Like being trans is some big conspiracy. The trans agenda, they call it. Erase all the genders. That's what we want to do. We want to erase all the genders so there's no more meaning and that genitals don't exist or whatever. It's not true. But like we have some kind of hive mind. We're like planning on something. I just don't know where this trans agenda is. And I'd really like to know so I can read it because I'd like to be well informed. I imagine that it's maybe somewhere like I get it at the doctor's office because that's like the one place all trans people go. Like, you know, maybe after they tell you you need to see a psychologist and you need to talk to your health insurance company and you need to sign these paperwork, then you jump through all these like loops and then they say, congratulations, here's your certificate and your secret password to the trans agenda. It's right here. But honestly, I don't really think it exists. It's some conspiracy theory to blame us for some bullshit problem white cis het men are facing. White cis het men. White cis het men. It's like casting a curse. Like a combo in Mortal Kombat for a fatality. Probably the most derogatory thing you can say in a queer space. Hi, welcome to our queer show. For tonight's schedule, white cis het men are canceled as usual. I've met some trans Nazis in queer spaces too. Like instead of euthanizing old, disabled minority groups, they're all about rounding up all the white cis het men, put them into BDSM camps and then force them to take hormones, and then give them body dysphoria and make them doubt themselves. Yeah, that's my kink. The real trans agenda. Thank you.